This is getting to be a bit like the repair shop. I have Granny Grace's kidney-shaped dressing table stool, which she used to have with a hardboard top on it because the cane broke. That hardboard top's now been cut off, and I am ready to start recaning it. I've got the cane, and you're supposed to hold the cane in with these golf pegs, golf tees, but they don't fit in the holes. So that may be a problem later on in the fact that there isn't enough room for the cane. But I fashioned these wooden dowels which will hopefully do the job. So you put that in like that, and then you hold it, and then you can do the next one. Now I've got a count across here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This one is the middle. Well, middle-ish in fact. And then I hold that there. My pegs work well. And then I'm going to do a series of verticals, then a series of horizontals, and then another series of verticals, then weave horizontals, and then the diagonals. It's 6 stages, standard weaving. I have never done this before, and I have been watching YouTube, and I've got a little leaflet that came with the reeds. So let's hope it progresses well. So, stage 1 is complete. The verticals are done. It's been tricky because over the legs the holes don't go all the way through, so I've had to cut the cane and peg them. So I've used lots of pegs which I've carved with my little whittling tool, and these pegs neatly fit in there. I've got to go to the shop and buy some more doweling to make some more pegs. And stage 2 is the horizontal ones, which I'm not sure how we do this bit, but we will just have to suck it and see. So we're now on to stage 3. Stage 1 was the verticals, stage 2 was the horizontals, and stage 3 is the second row of verticals. And these go in just slightly to the right of the original ones, but on top of the horizontals. And being careful to make sure, as ever, that the shiny side of the cane is uppermost and the flatter or rough side goes down. So it's beginning to look a bit like a chair. So I will continue with that. We're now on to stage 4 of the weaving exercise, and this involves threading the cane under and over the different layers. So we go under layer 1 and over layer 3, and it works kind of if you do 3 at a time. That kind of works. What you have to be very careful of is to ensure you don't get twists. You develop a kind of sixth sense about twists. The cane is incredibly enthusiastic to become twisted and incredibly reluctant to become untwisted. So I'm threading it through my hands so that I know it hasn't got a twist in it. And then under 1/3, under 1/3, under 1. Got a little twist there. You can just get that out. Little nimble little fingers for this, which I don't have, but with each line it gets quicker and quicker. It is a very tedious process, this, but the rewarding aspect is that as you do it, you can feel the cane getting tighter and tighter. Although I am somewhat nervous about how many canes I have to go down these holes around the edge, which you can see here. And the holes on the videos that I watch are really big, but the holes I have are really small. And I'm worried that they won't be big enough to take all the canes that I have to put through them, because I have stage 5, which is one diagonal direction, and then stage 6, which is the other direction, and then maybe a band around the edge, which requires holding down. How I do that on these blind edges, I'm not sure. They may have to be glued in to hold them. But there we go. So now we are on stage 5, which is the diagonals. And in this stage we go over the verticals and under the horizontals. Now I'm just doing one over and under at a time, because although it can be quicker to do, say, 3, I found that when I was drawing the cane through 3, it was causing so much friction on the horizontals and verticals that it was actually cutting the cane, and I then had to do a repair job to take the cut cane out and put in a new strand. So here, if I just do this one, rather than take the cane sort of like an angle like that, I take it vertically through and it runs much smoother. As ever, you can see that I never let go of the cane and slide it through my fingers so that it doesn't get a twist in it, because it does have a penchant for twisting. And sometimes at the end of a row, a long row, see there it's twisted there, little bugger. At the end of a long row, you will, there we go, you'll find that the cane decides that it's almost going to break, and you'll think, no, don't break at the end, break at the beginning. But that's, I guess, just the nature of caning. And the cane is not, it's a natural material, and therefore it has knots and catches and things in it. This particular bit of cane is very nice, but sometimes you discover that through usage, you know, as you're weaving, a knotted area will get more and more fractured until it eventually snaps, and then you think, right, I will have to do that one again. But it's very therapeutic. I sit here and listen to the radio and have discovered that much of what's on the radio in the morning is repeated in the afternoon, so I have to change channels to avoid the repeats. The other thing that is proving to be quite a challenge is when I reach the end, the holes aren't necessarily in the right place. And I try and keep the cane as straight as possible, so sometimes I've got to miss a hole or double up in a hole. And then this leads me to the worry that when I come to do the 6th and 7th row, the 6 is diagonals in the other direction, and then the 7th stage is to go around the end with some form of topping, which I haven't figured out yet. But the holes are pretty much full with the existing cane already, so to have to put another layer and this some form of topping in place, I'm not sure how we're going to do that. When I say topping, I mean sort of like a finishing band that goes around the edge here. Typically it would be a thick bit of cane with loops over it, but as I say, I'm not convinced there'll be enough room in the holes to do that. I will have to be inventive. Right. We'll meet again on the next layer when I show you how we're progressing with level 6. This is very relaxing and therapeutic work. I listen to radio plays whilst I do it, and get deeply absorbed. One of the tricks is never to let go of your cane, so you always know that it's not twisted. But sometimes it twists on its own, which can be very annoying, because once it's determined to twist, it can be a challenge to untwist it. You can see in close-up that we're following the pattern. When you consider the hours it's taken to get this far with the caning, you can understand why someone cut a piece of plywood and stuck it on top so much quicker. Especially if you're going to put a cushion on top of that, and no one will see the cane. Oh look, now it's twisted. I thought I had been careful, and I've got to take that out. And untwist it. There you go, you little devil. Right. So we finished the weaving. That job's done, and I now need to resolve the issue with these blind holes here, where the cane doesn't go right through and can be woven back up, they dead end in these holes. And I've decided that the safest thing to do is to put little pegs in the holes and seal them off that way. So put this peg in, and that will hold it tight, hopefully, and all will be good. I've cut the little pegs to size, little cane pegs, and they fit in here nicely. You can see that's just popping out there, so that needs a good peg to hold that in place. This is a one-way job. Once you put the peg in, the job's done. I'm just wondering whether that peg is going to be big enough. I think it is. There we are. And then all this will be covered up when I put the beading around the edge. Just got these ones to do. Hello and welcome to the repair shop. What have you come in to see today? Oh hi, I brought in Granny Grace's 100-year-old dressing table stool to have the seat remade. It had originally been cane, but we put some wood over it as a temporary measure, and it would be lovely to have had it restored back to how it originally looked. We've been working on this, so I guess it's time to show you what we've done. We won't keep you in suspense any longer. And here is the finished stool. Oh wow, that looks amazing. I can't believe what a good job you've done. It's like new. Can I touch it? It's so shiny and neat. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Oh, excuse me a minute. Just take your time. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm so appreciative. It's a really good job. Thank you for bringing it in.